friends, and welcome back to our Thursday live stream at channel. I'm Onle, your host tonight, and thank you for joining us, whether you are here in Da Nang or watching from around the world. So our team tonight is like Profi artist, from flat to volume. So have you ever noticed your how the children draw often look very flat? It's like a color on the top of it, and that's it. So like everything is on the same plan, and but professional artists use shading, light, and perspective to make objects appear more like a 3D dimension, look more realistic. And that's what we are going to explore today. So as always, I'm joined by our curator, a host of the Sunday workshops, every Sunday workshop, and inspiration behind our children's workshop is Gulya Qualia. So welcome, Gulya. Can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and why you love teaching kids through art, and also like what inspired this week workshop team?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Gulya. Originally, I'm from Russia, where I have huge experience in working with kids. And now I'm really happy to be here in my beloved Da Nang and working again with kids. And we usually have art classes here in our gallery, free for all kids. And this Sunday will be interesting topic because I will show some professional moments of drawing, and it will be drawing by typical markers, but we will learn some specific moments of drawing. For example, I will show you my very fast making drawings of a simple apple and how it can be different when we make just a little bit difference of lines. For example, an apple is usually round and its shapes like a sphere. And so when we make colorful it or shaded, our pencil lines should follow that roundness of apple. And kids usually make just straight lines when they color objects, and their pictures looks a little bit flat. And we will learn what we make in another way, like more professional. And we will try to make just a little bit change our typical action, and we will make our lines a little bit more round. And you see that apple looks like more volume. And then we can also add some lines for showing light and shadows, and it also will make our pictures more professional. And yes, this is
About volume. People might think like, oh, that's not one apple. There will be two or three apples because volume many of them. So we do not talking about the quantity. We're talking about how realistic it will be. Give more like different shade, a different angle into the pictures, and look more like a 3D dimensional more than just an object itself. Just let me know a little bit like why do we start with the hand exercise with how to say starting to realize that this is the flat paintings and this is like a three-dimensional object, because what is the difference of them, and why is it important?
Yeah, first of all, I say about our program that we have really different activities. For example, last week we have activity about really freestyle in drawing, and this week is really different and more about technique. Kids and parents who usually join come to our activity. They usually take really different activities. But this Sunday, yes, more about technique and also interesting. And why? Why? I think that we begin with hand exercise because it helps children train their observation skills instead of relying of what they think a hand looks like. They learn to really see its shapes, lines, and proportions. This exercise shifts their mindset from maybe symbolic drawing a head as a stick with 5 sausages, for example, to observational drawing, which is essential in creating realistic art. It sets the foundation for understanding form, contour, and negative shapes, all important in monochrome collage portrait, where accuracy is also one of our topic. All of these moments we will learn during this activity. That's why we choose it.
Interesting. We all start with hands. If you like recalls how our baby that first they just like maybe first couple of months still in the bassinet, but they just lay down on the floor, and then we do often have the play dream and some objects, and they immediately reaching the hand out. So I think like as Gulya say, hand exercise like a foundation for almost anything because it's just something every child knows. It's familiar, personal, and always available because they have hand right and they touch it. Stretching their own hands is a gentle way to ease into drawing and it's feel confident right away. That's oh I made it right. They're really nice with the hand exercise and plus it's connect the movement with shape. And for them like I got the feeling if you touch something even you don't see it you can guess and the feeling of the shape you know maybe you know some fruit that you have to touch when you blind and when you do not really see anything and it's a great step and then it's just like almost like a great first step like a foundation step like a Gulya say as in learning how to see and draw with intentions and it's really nice that we not only giving the workshop like a freedom, we do also sometimes giving the technical workshop for children so they can have to use a little bit more brain work to think and to learn. And what just make a drawing pop into more realistic, more like a 3D?
There are several visual techniques helps drawing appear more realistic and three-dimensional, 3D, and it is lines, shading, perspective, or overlapping. And let me talk about each of it more. For example, lines, like in my example with apples, using a variety of line ways. Thicker for shadows, lighter for highlights, creates more, make our picture more deep. Or when we have more round objects like apple, whatever, ball, we should also just change our lines to a little bit more round and it also gives us a volume. Yes, and maybe how long or short our lines, it also can help to show the volume of object. Then shading. Shading, it is carefully applied shading gives objects form, making them look round also, or solid rather than flat. Objects are in space. It also helps to make our pictures more realistic. And perspective also, maybe it's a little bit difficult to kids, but we anyway should just introduce a little bit, maybe please just tell to show that we see, for example, again to our apple, which is staying on the table from this side or from this, or maybe a little bit like from more up, where more higher than our apple, like this. And drawing with a sense of space, foreground, background, and flashing points. It also adds realism to our pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And overlapping, when one object like partially covers another, it naturally creates also depth or special relationships. Yeah, it's also make our objects in our pictures more realistic. These techniques are especially powerful in this activity and build our Sunday's activity. Yeah, we will learn all these moments, and I usually adapt all these moments, or sometimes really difficult, to like kids' language, and they usually understand it easily.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think when they kind of busy, they might busy to do one thing. They ignore the language part. I don't think the language is the barrier at all. And they become too much focus on one thing is already. So they take all attention from them. And I don't think, yes, language will not be like a barrier for everyone. And if they do not know and they want to ask, I think they can use the body language, right? So they can make you or the helper to understand that what they want. So yeah, come back to like drawing pop into more realistic one. Um, what all of you explain it sound like about depth and like how you create the depth. And you say like a background, the foreground, the overlap in one object, two object, and like the front maybe a little bit lighter because the lighting is coming, so the back will get darker. So I just feeling like you are talking about the depth of the picture, right? So that's not really nice. And you also talk about the shape, like you say the specific here, like we talk about object and apple that you make an example there. But yeah, can you explain a little bit more about the shape? For example, like if you're not choosing like an object, like an apple anymore, and you're using more like a square box or maybe just easy like a phone case. For example, that is square one. It's not the object anymore. Actually,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
mhm,
Objects like these, which have angles, it's maybe sometimes a little bit even easier to draw than objects which are round, which are have shaped sphere, because we have sides which is all light, in shadow. Yeah, it's usually easily to draw because we see that all these sides from, for example, box or case, yeah, we see that this side is completely in shadow or in light, and we just draw it. But with apple again or ball, with any round object, it's a little bit more difficult because yeah, it's for because this shape is really different.
mhm.
Uh, each dot of its shape can be in light, and really close place is in shadow. Yeah, it's a little bit different, a little bit more difficult.
Interesting. So it's more about the curve, right? So it's like if have the edge, the point, that like a curve, the round one that we cannot
Yeah.
edge, they will
Yeah.
more challenges on
Yes, for sure.
shape that we haven't discussed here yet. But yeah, that's interesting because I'm not an artist. So I'm also very bad at those kind of thing. It just make me learn a lot about the topic today. And it's also really interesting. Yeah, so it's such a fun moment to see that they were excited with like, oh, let me do the 3D painting. So do you think like the children quickly see the difference between like the flat one and the volume of drawing?
Yes, children often quickly notice the difference only once they have been shown how to observe and apply simple techniques when they compare their early flat drawings to their new, more realistic ones. And the contrast is usually very obvious to them, and it's often a surprising and exciting discovery that a few changes, like adding shadow or adjusting proportion, can make a big visual impact. This understanding motivates them to continue improving, and they usually easily understand the difference. They immediately see. Maybe it's a little bit not easy to try to make it always using all these new moments in drawing, because they usually just it's usual for them coloring, for example, again apple like this, but then when they remind and try to make more round lines, yeah, they see that it's much more different and better.
Mhm. Yes. So how do they feel when the draw suddenly look more real?
When children experience that moment where their drawing suddenly pops into something realistic, it's often a moment of wonder. They usually don't expect that with just, really just little changes, just a few lines or same simple shading, their work can transform into something that that has depth, dimension, and really like more professional. There is often an audible reaction, a gasp, a laugh, or I see that they say nothing, but they feel many emotions that they realizing how easy they can up in their level of drawing and make it like adult artist, like more professional artist. Yes.
Yes, I think like I just imagine how the face will look. I think the big smile on the face maybe, but the eyes will light up. I will say, "Wow, yeah, it's
Mhm.
because it like that, something like that." It seems at the moment it's very powerful for them that suddenly they're feeling like they know a lot of drawing, they know a lot of skill and technique, right? So it, like they discover a secret, for example.
Yes, 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 yes.
It's something really just a little thing. It makes them very confident with themselves, so it puts their confidence and make them want to keep exploring, and maybe that's what I feel. So it's just it's not just about drawing, but maybe it's about believing in their ability to create something meaningful, because it's not all the kids starting, like a lot of them can be shy personality, a lot of them can feeling like, oh, I'm not good, I don't know how to do it, right? So could be something that can push their confidence to do something that they think, oh, I can do it. Yeah, actually, I can do it. Yeah. So it's a sentence that is a funny thing. The sentence that I heard from my friends and my husband talk together, that his friend asked him to do something and he say like, no, I can't. And then the another friend just say, no, you can, that will you do it, you just want. And that is a moment for them maybe to realize that it's we bring a little bit story here, but when I hear that story I feel like, oh, it line up with with this situation. Yeah, it's not that I can't, like, yeah, you can, yeah, you can,
Yeah,
want to
exactly.
do it, right? So that's a moment for me to feeling like, oh wow, that sometimes this kind of technical workshop also bring a lot of value, and it doesn't mean that we have to continue to develop only one technique, have to make it
Yes.
realistic, but just make them to believe in themselves, believe in their ability, and the confidence is really important. When you got the confidence, when you're comfortable enough, you will do it, because with my personality, for example, if I'm not feel comfortable with something, I don't want to do it. And maybe for the kid the same, that you if you create enough space, enough comfortable zone for them, the atmosphere, maybe they will train their mind, right? So thank you so much. This is really interesting because when you're talking about flat to volume, it's volume is a lot of meaning here, and volume is not about the quantity as we just said. It's more about the realistic. It's more about the 3D option. So can this exercise help them to see the world differently? Not just in art. I should bring a lot of story, but I also want to ask to hear your opinion as well.
Definitely, one of the most valuable aspects of this drawing exercise is that it doesn't just change how children draw, it changes how they see the world around them. Yeah, they can, and usually my teacher, when I was a child, my teacher, or maybe they all, there are a few teachers in art school, they always say that to be artist is not about drawing, it's more about seeing. Yeah, you should see well, see more, see from different sides and see more deeper to objects to be able to draw it.
Very interesting.
By training them to look carefully at light, shadow, form, perspective, we are helping them develop observational skills that go beyond the page, maybe in other subjects, in other everyday life skills, in thinking about something, maybe creating something, they will use this skill also. And after this exercise, children often start to notice things they never paid attention to before. They might look at a cup on the table and comment on how the shadow fall across it, or they will notice how one object overlaps another and creates a sense of depth. They begin to understand that what they see isn't just outlines, but complex forms shaped by light and space. And this kind of visual awareness can impact many areas of their life, not just art. I really believe in it. It can improve their ability to focus, to be to be present and to appreciate beauty in everyday objects. Maybe thinking how some maybe some technique or huge object built, and they think how they understand more how it invent, how it built.
That's really a really interesting point of view when you say like this is not about painting or drawing, about seeing it. Indeed, I never thought in that way, to be honest, because actually you make the painting to look at it, right? So it's actually you just have to look at it in different maybe angle, far, close, from the left, from the right, maybe behind. Maybe behind you just see the frame, but maybe somehow you can see the shadows on the reflection under the sun. That really interesting point of view observation from you that this is the first time I hear it, so it's like okay, that's a nice sentence. I'm gonna say I really like that sentence. And yes, as I say, I bring a lot of like before I come into the question, because I ask you because again it's just like we cannot do it anymore. We can, but we're willing to do it. It is another topic. then definitely once a kid learn to look more curve, shadow, shape, they'll start noticing them everywhere in the toys, in the natures, in the faces, even our face. And it's just like giving them a new lens to see the world. And I really noticed that it really connects to what you just say. I just realized that yes, that's for seeing and that's for observation, and the people will become more observant, more curious, right? And that's kind of awareness help in all areas of learning, and it's just not about art. So yes, and later we make it more abstract. So we have the abstract painting. So here we can take it more abstract, like instead of seeing that, we can hear it, we can touching, right? So the sense of it is really nice. And thank you so much for that answers. Um, I love that we not just learning about draw better. We're trying out like, to see the depth, to see the shape and light. Though are just basic and just everywhere. It's just everyday life, right? So it's just really nice that we can open the other gate for the kid to learn. So now we are practiced drawing in volumes, and let's talk more about why this skill matters and how it's connected to the creativity. Because as I said, when we talk about volume, it brings a lot of people curiosity. Um, like, okay, the volume is mean the quantities are about the 3D mean realistic, how realistic is mean. So and yes, so to begin with, when we say volume in art, I would love to learn more about like the definition of it. What does that really mean, and how it different from like just drawing a flat outline?
Yeah, flat drawing. It's really like we are just the first step in drawing from baby stage, and when we improve our skill of drawing, we usually make more volume, more realistic. And even if we don't know, we try to make it not easy, because flat pictures is just, yeah, it's easy drawing. It's like very simple lines, simple colors, and volume we can make it by mixing colors, adding tones, make somewhere more bright or dark. It's also make volume
Mhm.
in our pictures. So yeah, when we improve drawing, maybe not in professional style, just keep just grow and make his picture like more linked with his age. It also become more volume. He, for example, my son, he tried to draw his favorite robots, and they become not just square and round and very symbolic like when he was younger. Now it's a little bit more difficult. Say, yeah, he add more details, for example. Yeah, it's also made pictures more realistic and with more volume.
Yes. So I will say here volume is means giving an object shape and depth as we discussed at the beginning. It's not about just height and width, like how big it is, how tall it is. It's about showing that something takes up space, like an apple that Gulya just gave. It's not just about the circle. It's a round form with light and shadow and
Mhm.
crowd behind that. It also create a different lighting, a different shadow at that. So that really nice that you just explain and given the example of your sons. And yeah, I think it's happened with a lot of kids, not only about your son like that. So what is the connection
Yes.
between the volume 3D and make a drawing look more realistic?
Mhm. Volume is at the heart of making drawings appear 3D and realist. When artists learn to show volume, they begin to use tools like light and shadow, overlapping, proportion to represent space and depth. They are the same. There are the same tools that helps our brains interpret what we see in the real world. So when a child draws a sphere with shading rather than just a circle, it suddenly pops and feels solid. That connection between volume and realism is what turns a simple sketch into a believable image.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's not really nice. I think we can say that it starts feeling like true to life, right? So, um, of course, it's not a real object. It's on the paper, but the real object's not flat, right? We know that it's we can touch it, we can feel it, it's molded. They are the thickness, the roundness, the perspective. So adding volumes um, into the drawing, into the paintings, is make something like you try to bring the life into an art. So we can say it this way. It's just my perception. It's just my thought, my opinion. It could be wrong, but that's how I think. Yeah. So
No, I agree. I agree. That's absolutely.
thank you. Yes, because with what we try to talk today and every week, we try to bring more understandable why we design this kind of workshop, and also giving a lot of like Gulya's more in education, point of view, because she the one who how to say create the workshops, and also she do have knowledge about what she made, and she also the teacher herself. Even she teach language, but at least she the teacher herself. I'm here just like I'm more like an audience. I will take the opinions could be like from parents' point of view, because I got the daughters. I was in a lot of workshop with my kid as well. Myself, when I before I have kids, way before I have kids, I attend a lot of kid workshop because I'm more with the kid level, so I'm not really able to do like more like an advanced workshop. I'm more into the kid level that I should make it can enjoy it very well. Or even like I'm just as I say, I'm just the teacher, the culture like Gulya itself, because I also have some certain experience with teaching English or teaching Vietnamese for foreigners, and that's already bring me out. Or even I also did some soft skill for some just a short course, but it also bring me up some certain education point of view, or at least all the experience that I built up for myself. I can get my own opinions. Doesn't matter that if I'm in those kind of audience group or not. So our thoughts is very in our personal point of view. So we do not take something that who wrong or who right. We're just sharing our opinion here for everyone to. So that really nice. I do want to ask you like why is it important for children to learn about following art?
Learning about volume teach children more than just a drawing skill, as I said before. Also, it sharpens to their observation, and they begin to notice subtle things, the way light creates shadows, how edges curve away from the viewer, how objects, for example, overlap to create a sense of depth, and maybe some geometric things from math. Yeah, they also can just discover from seeing
Mm-hmm. Nice.
without explanation from teacher of maths or physics. They just see course, yes, physics, math is also everywhere in all objects. And, yeah, they can describe it themselves just from seeing.
They're really nice. And again, like the very beginning, Gulya said, it's about seeing, it's about the observation. Um, that we don't have to explain a lot. If we giving a ball right there, people know, oh, it's a ball, right? So we give an apple on the table, oh, it's an apple. No one really explain what it is. If you see the dog outside, oh, well, doggy. You do not have to explain what a dog is, right? See, you know what it is. You don't have to explain by words what it is. You don't have to use your body language to describe what it is. And when you see the object, you know, oh, okay, that's an apple. It's kind of fruit, right? So yeah, I think learning about volume help children move beyond flat shapes into like a word or form because we do a lot of form existing in the world, and it teaches them to see how things takes up place, space, and how, for example, a ball isn't just a circle, for example, but something like round and full. So if you put the circle on, it doesn't just a flat circle, right? It's a round and very full inside, right? So this kind of visual thinking build a deeper understanding of the world around them. And it's just not about drawing better, as I always say. It's about noticing more. It's again about the observation. It's about the see.
Visual thinking,
Yeah.
special reasoning, yeah, mindfulness. Yes, they start to understand more how shapes exist in space. Yeah, spend some space. Yeah, it's a lot in maybe more difficult physics and math subjects also.
Yeah, agree completely that I think it really a nice word that you start everything with that drawing. It's just about the draw that you have to make, and then you have to make color. Is about the seeing what you see on that, what you see outside, and what you put on the canvas on the paper for yourself to see, right? So that really is the best way to look at things. And so when the children, I'm gonna say when the children discover volume, so do they start to see the object differently in daily life?
Yes, absolutely. When the children begin to understand volume in art, it is as if a switch is flipped in how they view the world. Instead of seeing objects as flat outlines or symbols like a simple circle for face or rectangles for house, they start noticing that they start the real physical forms around them. They become aware of how light wraps around the curved surface, how shadows are cast depending on the direction of light, and how objects overlap in space. This new awareness extends beyond the drawing table for sure. Suddenly, a banana isn't just banana shape. They see how it works, creates shadows. Also, it's small object, narrow object, but how one side is brighter than other, and how it sits in the space. Even something as simple as a cup on the table becomes also a fascinating study in form, shadow, and reflection. It's a major step in visual literacy, helping them to interact the world with a more than curiosity.
Mhm. Nice. And yes, I hope that one day they feeling like they should like an artist, it's a little artist, right? So when they discover volume, it might them feeling like they get more advanced technique, and
Mhm.
hopefully one day say, "See, I'm an artist." Yeah, and that is something for them to proud of, and it's really nice from them if they have that kind of thinking. So does this exercise boost their confidence in drawing? Like what I just say, like if they haven't told that they are an artist or they learn kind of advanced skill. So is it like boosting their confidence in drawing or paintings and do they feel more capable as artists?
Yeah, without question. When a child sees their drawing move from a flat doodle to something that looks 3D, realistic, it often creates a powerful emotional reaction. They usually very proud of them. Sometimes they even shock, like they didn't think that these small changes, as I said before, can make it looks real, looks like in real life. And sometimes I also share one story from my childhood when teachers shares that great artists they can draw as realistic as it's so alive. For example, they can draw a fly so realistic that Isaac can really try to bite it, to kill it, because it's really alive. Something like this, and I also sometimes see that there are many people who choose super realistic style artists, professional artists who really choose this style, and they choose their vector in art super realistic or realistic drawing, and they try to it's usually very fast in very fast video when they make really realistic drawing of something. Sometimes it's food or fruit, and make it from real picture from real food, and try to finish when it's still fresh. But they try to make the most realistic picture. They use all these things which we will learn with Sunday with kids. But in more professional level, of course, but anyway, we introduce to all the kids that there are interesting professional models which they also can use if they are drawing.
Interesting. Mhm. That really nice. That really nice aspect to for us to think about. I think like it's also very beautiful to watch. And when I try seeing the drawing suddenly look very real, it's like how to say a light switches on, you know? Is it like oh it's real? So sometimes it's I think artists also starting learning how to draw the make objects very realistic. They make a
Mhm.
like a steel paintings. They have to starting from like maybe the vase, the apple, the shape, very basic stand, and make how to make it more like 3D as much as they can. And that is something I feeling like for the kid, if they're able to do it, they're feeling like a first step coming to like a artist world, and that we say like a Profi artist, and they will feel proud, maybe surprised for themselves, excited to keep going on, and it's no longer just a line on the paper, and it's like something that they feel, and that sense of achievement give them like courage to try more and explore more and believe on their ability and on their own creativity as well. So how does understanding 3D help with the imaginations in other areas? Like for example, like because that may be very helpful in building and design, or even like a storytelling. Because um, I used to work for the interior design. If I'm able to understanding like more like a 3D, three-dimensional. That really helped me to create the object because I myself do not draw a pen, but I can like create like very basic object by software, and that's something I'm able to do. So how does understanding 3D will have for imagination in different areas?
Learning to see and draw in 3D has a huge impact of how children think creatively in other areas. When they understand volume, they don't just draw better, they think in space.
Mm.
That means that when they are building with blocks or Lego, they start imagining how pieces connect from different angles, for example. And when they design something, whether it's a foam made a pillow or a futuristic spaceship, they are thinking in 3D also, planning with the structure and form in mind. And even, yeah, and I agree that even in storytelling, this special thinking helps. Um, their, their mental images become more vivid and detailed. They might describe how a character walks in 3D. Yeah. And in I think that this helps them to grow up to be an architecture, animators, engineers. This foundational ability to see in volume gives them many incredible head of start.
Mhm. Interesting. Yeah, and maybe once they understanding the volume, their imagination maybe expands. They start thinking in layer, right? So we think how we put the light on this color first, and then another colors and dimensions, what angle you will look into, and how to make it more like a real object, like pretty more, and then how things fit together. If you have two multiple objects, how you place them and make them like be together in a really good angle to make it more um, better fit. And I think how they move, how they feel, it will have like a building structure, designing costumes, or even imagining the characters in the story. Because I think, well, even with storytelling, you are like an author, you have to imagine by yourself how it will work. And it's just not about drawing, it's about inventing words and volunteer their idea and shape and substance. So that really nice aspect to think. It's a little bit challenging, even for myself when I'm talking about volumes, because I say my level is just a kid level when I draw or doing anything, because I'm not good at drawing, but when I attend to any like a draw or painting workshop, it's really fun. You don't have to put the level of artists. You don't have to put the level of an adult. When you attend the workshop, you put your own level into the, the base of the art you try to create. It's also really nice for me, like to kind of link volume with science and math, geometry. It's kind of perspective, light, or the physics of the shadows, right? So kids don't realize it, but they are learning the stems through art. And do you see like any link between learning volume in art and subjects like science or math?
Yes, for sure there are many a strong connection between art, learning all these things from art, and math and science. And in math, concepts like measurement, proportions, and angles, it's like base in math. So all these things we also can find when we draw objects, and recognizing how shapes fit together and how volume can be calculated, connect artistic skills with mathematical reasoning. So yes.
Yeah. And yeah, to to end our part here, to end our conversation, I want to ask you the question like, can parents help the children explore volume at home with the simple objects?
Parents can play a key role in helping children understand volume by turning everyday activities into playful learning opportunities. Simple games like stacking blocks or building towers encourage children to think. It's really from a young age to think about balance, shape, space, shining flashlights on toys. Just sign and ask kids pay attention for some moments like this can also help them to understand. Yes.
That's nice. That's nice.
And I also like really fun activity with kids, and our waiters in our tea shop also spend some time with my kids in folding papers into animals, and there are also geometric shapes. They folding papers into cubes, cones first time. Then make animals, birds, and it also they also can learn from it because there are many moments which are linked with our Sunday's topics, with volume, with shapes, with angles, and even cooking also, such as cooking, molding, fruit, and arranging fruits can teach kids about form and volume. I think, we just ask pay attention to all these moments in everyday life because it's really everywhere, and they will start to understand all these things.
Yes, and I think like the key also is to talk with them while we play with them, when we cook with them, when we stack all the block or the cup together to learn about height, to learn about the weight. Yes, and ask what they notice, what feel different, what they change, and what they learn lives, and that's really nice. And yeah, so thank you so much. And so I already given you like a last question, but somehow I pop up another question now. So do you think that drawing in volume make us feel like more like a professional artist, or we can say profi artist?
Yes, definitely. When children learn to draw with volume, their perception of their own ability maybe increase. They start believe that they can be already can be artists with potential, and it's like maybe in your example with your husband and his friend, they just can start. I can.
Yeah.
I can go deeper in this skill also. I can draw everything if I will try use on these small moments, and I will have really great results, really realistic drawing, and everybody will understand what it's exactly. For example, sometimes my son, he's not confident that some of objects with which he draw is understandable for me. when he tried to use all these things and make really round shapes more round with all these things like light, dark, and volume, he can be sure that I understand that it is the head of his robots.
Really nice. And yes, the answer will be yes, yes. The moment I think when they step back and say, "This look real," you know. So I think like when they're feeling like they cross into like something special, and it's not about being perfect, of course, but if you feeling like capable of doing something, like what you just said, that I can do it. Yes, I will do it. I can do it. Volume drawing gives kids a taste of artistic mastery, and that we always say it's kind of more like an advanced technique with the kid level, for the kid age, and that feeling stay with them. I do believe, and it's a quiet kind of confidence that grow over time, right? So we learn step by step. First, make them feel surprised by their ability first, and then we can slowly building more confidence. And every time we're talking about drawing and paintings, and then we can talk with my friend that that's about seeing, right? So it's not about drawing a trick. It's about the way seeing the world, and the children suddenly notice shape, depth, and light and everywhere. And it's beautiful that these small shifts make them feel more confident, and like they unlock a secret that the professional artist will yield. So it's beautiful to see the children discover that with just a few techniques, their art can look so much more alive, and it's not about being perfect again. So nothing will be perfect, right? So we're not, even with program that is also not be able to be perfect. We always update ourselves every day, and it's about opening the door to the new way of seeing. And again, I end up with the word seeing because I love that word so much and for now. So, speaking of unlocking the door, let's talk about how family can join us this Sunday for a real workshop, and how you can support VNCE so we can continue offering this free activity. So, yes, Gulya, would you mind to let the parents and the audience know how they can attend to our weekly workshop on Sunday?
Just better to inform us in our Facebook page, because sometimes maybe for this activity we just can just come, and but usually some of my activities needed that I prepare some samples and should know before how many kids will be, so better to register in our Facebook page. But for this Sunday, you can just come at 10 till 11. We will have this activity in our gallery in Sunshine area. Chanduk. Yeah, my pronunciation of Vietnamese words isn't perfect. Chanduk Street.
That sounds really nice. It's the Vietnamese. Confident on yourself. Again, open the door for confidence.
Okay. Yeah, I really rate all of you. Please join. I'm sure that we will have fun with this activity also, even if there are some challenging for kids. But anyway, I always try to adapt for even for young ages also. Or if you have some challenging topic, I also adapt everything for every kids.
Really nice. Thank you so much. And again, we just want to say like all the children are welcome, and as always, it's completely for free. Just some small notice that if you want to attend any workshop at our place, just please read really quickly the brief of what the activity is and where we organize, because we will have someone notice. That really nice that parents support us by bring the children coming to our gallery. But don't forget that we are also try to generate the income, so we're able to run the workshop for free like this for every week. So please notice that we are not allowed to bring any drink into the gallery. The reason here is because we do have a children drawing inside the class. We also have some artwork, so we don't feeling like that's a good idea. Or if you come into any museums or the kids hands-on museum, they will not allow you to bring any liquid into the room, because it's just for the safety of the artwork around the environment. Because if you spill the water on, it might impact into the other kids. It might interrupt the flow of the workshop, because we have to clean that mess, right? Or even it might be able to like drop or spill on the artwork, and that is not fixable. Okay, so that is something that we just want to notice. We really appreciate that you bring the children to our workshop, but we not allow for parents or for kids bring any drink into the room. So if you guys have a drink, maybe try to finish outside. So we do have like a water outside, water stand outside, so the kid can just come out and take the water outside of the room. Or maybe you guys can enjoy the cup of coffee or drink at the Janome, and every single small like drink that you take or you buy, or even the ice cream, that's also the way to donate us. So friends, if tonight live stream inspire you, don't miss out the Sunday art workshop at the BMP Art for Children at the Da Nang Children Gallery, and also organized at the Janome Tea Shop. Children will practice drawing with volume. Parents are warmly welcome to join, and at VNCE, all of our workshops are again for free. So they are only possible thanks to your support. So if you would like to help us continue bringing art creativity to families, you can donate via the QR code on the side now when you see on the screen. Simply subscribe or share channels. Every bit helps us grow this community. And thank you so much, Gulya, for your insights, and thank you for everyone joining us tonight. So we will see you this Sundays and back here next Thursday for another evening of art, family, and creativity. We will have another topic to discuss. And good night from Channel VNC. Bye bye.